Oh, alright, hello. Gonna play some Jeskai Delverblade today. Saw Robert Wilson on Twitter post a similar list. Played it yesterday, felt good. And now I'm kind of finished up one of those leagues. I made a small change. His list only had 3 Stoneforge. I added the 4th. Especially with Cauldron in the mix, you really want to make sure you always have a Stoneforge ready to go. But yeah, we're gonna try it. Definitely down to take questions about the list because it's interesting. And I've been thinking about doing something like this for a while, but seeing a good starting point was nice. So, we'll see how this goes. Music feels a little loud. Okay, this is a good hand. They're on Yorion, so some kind of controlling mess. They're mulliganing. Yeah, we're gonna keep this. Is pretty normal. It's not incredible, but ain't bad. Just trying to make sure everything's sized correctly. They multi 5. Better against the multi 5. Of all the equipment to draw, GTA is like not bad. Oh, this is not some kind of controlling mess. Okay. Yorion Affinity? Okay. That's a little odd. I don't see a particularly good reason to do anything but lead on Delver. I don't think having one artifact in play is really cheapening the experience for them. This is interesting. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'll probably just play GTA, try to set that up. I'll probably get a plateau. Gives me all my mana. So not killing the cannon in this system does give them the ability to play land and cast Thoughtcast. Which could be problematic, but I don't know, GTA just kind of like manages the board so well. Oh yeah. Oh, well, that was interesting. Wasn't expecting Yorion Affinity. I mean, I can like guess what's in their deck to some degree, but of course it's going to be hard to kind of figure out for sure. Regardless, these cards are good. Novod certainly not pretty with GTA in the mix, but I don't know if I'm supposed to. I mean, it's not perfect deck building, but Novod is very effective. So I like cutting out some number of Ragavans against decks like this. Like taking their cards doesn't even really do anything for me. Force of Negation doesn't seem that good. I don't know if Blazing Volley is good. Pyroblast is probably reasonable in at least small quantities. Do I need True Name? Probably not. Maybe like age ruining. I wonder if Batterskull's like reasonable. Maybe like Batterskull over GT. I'm cutting a true name and like early plays. Plus I'm also bringing in Norvad. That actually sounds kind of reasonable. Let's do this. So this is like all my removal, Sand, Blazing Volley, and a Pyroblast. Daze is probably like mediocre against them, if I'm honest. On the draw, at least. On the draw. Maybe Ragavan is just, like, mediocre enough that I should, like, go down to 1 copy. It's not taking much, and they have a bunch of blockers on the ground. Plus, Norvad kind of, like, doesn't work in conjunction with it particularly well. I'm gonna cut 1 Daze. I don't know. I mean, they probably have to have Urza Saga in the deck, so I'm not cutting Wasteland. Yeah, can't really mulligan a hand like this. I mean, it might be too slow if they have a really potent start, but... Needle, sure. Kind of hope they name Umazav's GT. They'll probably name Wasteland. A little weird to cut GT against Affinity, but I think it makes some sense. Just based on like how it's built. So I just need to dodge something really scary, Scalding Taunt. Okay, well, I have neither of those, so that's good. They probably should have Mishra's Bobbled first, but, you know, I don't know how relevant that's going to be. Well, they saw I had the Volk, so I'll play it. We'll see how good Norvad is. I mean, I'm not positive it's going to be good. Okay, well. Okay. Fluttershy, okay. So we can shuffle that away. So we get Norvad down. Then we start wastelanding their Tundras. All each of us have done so far, they're going to get Thoughtcast, is my guess. Shadow Spear, okay. All we've done is turn off cards from our opponent so far. Like, nobody's cast anything that's done anything of impact. A lot of brainstorms. I'm wastelanding now anyway. I don't really want to brainstorm. Cavern. Okay, I mean, that could be good. I'm gonna wasteland that, of course. They're not particularly close to Urza Saga doing anything. I'll brainstorm when it turns up. Because if I find Stoneforge, oh man. That's pretty bad. But it's like, okay, because we're still like doing pretty well here. I'm not gonna fire off enough brainstorm now. I'm just denying them the ability to play the game right now. I'll need to find something to do pretty shortly, but I think I have a little bit of time. I'm going to shuffle away the 2 Fluttershy next turn. Strand, play that, play Delver. Saga. Okay, that's not particularly close to doing anything. it is a little unfortunate that I used my 2 wastelands, but I guess I'll get a Tundra. Forceful's decent. Let's see if we can find a Stormforge. That's just the thing we want to find. Okay, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's certainly going to do it. To some degree. Let's keep firing off the wastelands. This game has been all mana denial for me. Well, part of that's just because, you know, no odds. Good against either side. Of which they drew 3 of in their 80 card deck, so. Ancient 2? Oh, that's a good stuff for them. So I'm gonna have Hugcast Forcible next turn. We can get rid of that. Okay. Well, I guess good thing I drew the Wasteland if they had Ancient Doom. Because that could have been a way for them to kind of battle back in. The endings are at least, like, okay against Constructs. I'll Brainstorm next turn. I'll just hold up Hugcast Force right now. Okay, they've had enough. Okay, well that was a match for sure. Thanks to everyone who's checking it, just tuned in. We're playing some of this deck today. It's been pretty good. We're 4-0 in this league. We're gonna see if we can convert, and then I don't know if we'll probably just play more of it, I think. But we'll see. If people have recommendations or suggestions, definitely down for that after the league. Or requests, even. But this has been pretty good. This is my second league with it. I went 4-1, and now we're 4-0, so. Still feel like the music's a bit loud. Don't know if it's the truth, but it seems pretty good. I mean, of course, this is like already doing a thing in modern. Stoneforge is like, it's nice because, I mean, Cauldra really gives you an aggressive element, which the deck was kind of missing before. But I find that Ragavan also gives you a lot of like mana, so things to do with your mana are really nice. And you are losing expressive iteration, but you're gaining kind of like a little bit more of a sticky threat. So it feels good. I mean, I don't know if it's the direction this deck should be going, but it makes sense. It feels pretty cohesive. Okay, so Gyruda. Okay, so this is Bomberman. I'm gonna keep. This hand's a little awkward against Bomberman because it's if they just like Chalice and avoid me or something, that's gonna be bad, and I'm not really interacting with them at the moment, but. Serpent. Okay, that's acceptable. Jite. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna ponder, because if we find a removal, I'll just cast it, and then get an attack in. Oh, these are pretty decent. That's interesting. If I want to cast the Delver, I have to fetch, so I can only keep one, and that's the only way I get to use all my mana this turn. Do I need the Stoneforge Mystic? Like, kind of, not really. I have a decent amount of threats. It kind of feels like I want the Brainstorm, but I also kind of feel like I want the land, like the land of the Brainstorm, but I think I want to get this Delver down. I don't think Stoneforge is actually better than anything else I'm doing here. And I already have the Jite, so I think I'm just going to keep the Brainstorm, fetch, and I'm also not going to trade just in case I draw a removal spell. I'm going, Alex. I'm going. Urborg is going to give me the ability to Prismatic Ending for 4 if that's relevant. Okay, so now I'm getting Chaliced. Sure. So I will trade Ragavan here. Forcible is a good one. So I'm gonna attack. I don't think I need the Jite right now. I think I'll just do this, because then if I draw a land, it's gonna, like, give me the best use of all my cards. Cavern into Gairuda is a little concerning. Kervik the Spiteful. Interesting. Okay, well, we'll just get that out of here. I mean, it's a pretty decent clock we have here. I'm a little concerned with what Gairuda's gonna do, but... But even right now, it's actually not that bad, because they can, like, 1, 2, 3, 4. They need a Soul Land to cast it now. I'm going to equip this.
I said it before, and I'll say it again.
I'm equipping here because they showed me Kervik, and, like, they could reanimate another one, and I want to not have to, like, re-equip. And this is just lethal. So they have to do something really good with Gairuda, which is possible. I mean, I don't know exactly what they have, but Gairuda certainly has to just straight up do it. Their deck is kind of designed to do this, so... Auriok Salvagers... Okay, that's not good enough. If they have LED... That's infinite mana. But they would need something else because a huge Stonecoil is not doing it. Okay. Cool. So Prismatic Ending is good here. Wear Tear. Novad is good again. But Jite is also kind of good. Yeah, this is definitely starting to feel some tension with that. I mean, obviously, like... I'm not, like... Like, I'm aware that that was an issue when I put the deck together, but... I'm gonna bring in Swords to Plowshares. Pyroblast feels like it hits Gairuda and nothing else. Karakas at least hits Gairuda. And it's mana, but I don't even know if that's good. I don't think Batterskull's that good. I don't think Jite's that good either. Like, it's okay. Like, it was okay there, but, like, that's mostly just because it added some power. It would have been good if I got 4 counters on it, but... I think Ragavan on the draw is probably medium. Because, like, it's not good against Chalice, and taking their cards doesn't seem like it does anything. And, they have, like, Karavac. Yeah, it doesn't seem that good. I'd rather have Stoneforge. So, maybe I just cut all my Ragavans on the draw. They do seem really slow, and it's opening me up more to Karavac than I would otherwise need to be. While also not being good against a reasonable amount of what they're trying to set up. So maybe I keep in the Jite, I bring in a Batterskull, and I just, like, become straight up a Stoneforge deck. That sounds kind of reasonable. Bolt looked kind of mediocre. Especially, I'm bringing in Prismatic Ending and Swords to Plowshares. I don't think I need Caracas. Okay, let's try it. I think I'm going to keep this. It's an answer to a Tomon Chalice. It has Wasteland to disrupt them. I'm going to just Wasteland this, even though I'm setting back my own ability to answer Chalice. I feel like denying them that mana is really good. Yeah. Okay. Okay. This makes sense that they're playing that. I just reviewed that in my set review that I'm going to put out this week. Basically, they look at the top 4, they put an artifact in their hand if they find one, which they did. They found an Orthodox Signet. Petal. It gets counters too, so... okay, so we're gonna go Tundra. I mean, we're gonna take a little bit of damage from this Smith overall. We'll certainly have to find an answer to it, but so let's do this. Yeah, there's no way I'm just answering that. I have more answers to the Smith, and like creatures can block it and stuff. Yeah, Smith is sick. This is the exact context I would anticipate it showing up in. So Stonecoil for 3. Oh, another Chalice for 1. Okay, now I'm reaching a breaking point. But I mean, this makes sense. Playing Delver and losing the Chalice, it's you get used to it. Oh, or drawing Prismatic Ending. Hit Chalice, Ponder. Yeah, seems good. Prismatic Ending is, like, such a boon for, like... It's such a good removal spell. So let's try to find, like, Swords to Plowshares, Stoneforge. Yeah, Stoneforge does technically keep the Smith in check. And, like, Delver also chump blocks if that's the thing I need to do. Which it looks like it might be a thing I need to do. Stonecoil for 2. 6, then I chomp. Stoneforge comes into play. I don't think it's worth dazing here. I am gonna brainstorm. I mean, of course I hope to find Swords Plowshares at this stage. Oh, this only triggers 1 feature. I see. That explains it. So we're gonna brainstorm. Of course, the only thing we want is like Swords Plowshares. So let's go Stoneforge. We'll get Kaldra, because that just straight up checks the Smith kind of forever. I could get Batterskull and then, like, trade, and then that seems way worse. Double Days is okay here, too. I'm shocked they didn't filter the mana, and then they could have put the thing in their hand, but... without sacrificing the Lotus Petal. It doesn't have trample or anything, right? Well, I guess whatever, we'll figure that out. Okay, Kaldra keeps the board stable. Bolt's decent. So... First Strike, Trample... Okay, so yeah, they can't, like, attack at all. Okay, so now we're gonna have to, like, beat Gyruda, which isn't a given. Double Days is decent, but, I mean, they have a fair amount of mana. Drawing Noah would be nice. Oh, okay. Listen, if you can call your shots and draw the perfect card, I recommend that strategy. I mean, there's no reason to attack. Any land they play kills their city. They can't really develop super well. I mean, this is like I've mentioned a couple times that like there's a deck building tension with having Noad and GT in your deck, which would be awkward if I draw GT, obviously. But this is one of the like deck building upsides of having Noad. Noad's just very, very good. It's interesting because, like, almost all of these feel good. I think I want all the Dazes and the Force. Maybe I just don't need Force Will. Triple Daze feels good against what's going on right here. No, the Bolt also feels good, though. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is, like, draw the Bolt next turn. No, I guess I'll draw Stoneforge next turn. Because then I can, like, attack with this, and then when they attack with their Smith, I can block with the Batterskull and bolt this. Trade that. So I'm just straight up trading that off. And I can't, like, re-equip or anything, but... that seems reasonable. Maybe I just don't need Triple Daze, but Triple Daze seems really good against what's going on here. And the fact that I get to attack next turn is actually kind of nice. The deck should be on Cardboard Live. Walking Ballista. I don't super care about this. With the null item play? Sure. Like, that gets bigger, but that's not a huge deal. So, what? I attack with this. They take 5. I play Stoneforge. I can flash into Batterskull. Then, if they play an artifact, I can go, like... double block here. But, like, they can't even really attack because I can just jump with the Stoneforge. Like, they can't attack with everything, because I put Batterskull here, Trump with Stoneforge, eat something, attack back. That's not particularly good for them. best of both decks, worst of both decks. It's a matter of perspective. I'm definitely attacking, though. Start clocking in. Hey, thanks for the sub, Adam. I haven't been live since May. So, yeah, it's been a minute. But, well, I guess I was live on Thursday, but... Thanks for checking it out, by the way. LED, sure. Because, like, if they just attack for 8, I'll just chump with this Stoneforge, put Batterskull into play, and then I'll just crack in. As long as this doesn't, like, randomly gain trample. No, okay. So, I'm gonna go to 8. I'm gonna crack back in. And we have lethal. Exactly 10. So, they need something that's gonna beat Triple Days. Cavern of Souls lines generally seem like it's the only way, but... Maybe like Cavern of Souls, Psy, cast a couple out of... No, they can't play Psy because they have the thing. Should be good here. Well, we drew really, really well this match, so, I mean... But we didn't... We were able to snag the 5-0. Nice. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, so this is the deck list. I saw Robert Wilson on Twitter post, and I've been thinking about wanting to play Stoneforge Mystic and Ragavan in the same deck, because it seems like it's sweet and modern, and I was like, okay, that actually looks pretty cool. And I think, like, one of the things I like about Stoneforge is that it's, like, kind of... It gives you a lot of use for mana, which Ragavan provides, and it's just, like, also... like, a sticky threat. They already have to enter Ragavan, so then they also have to enter Stoneforge. And even if they do, you get, like, card advantage off of that. If you ever get Caldra in play, it's going to be so sick. So, I mean, it seems pretty good. I'm not, like... I am sold on True Name plus GT in general, but I'm not exactly sold on True Name right now. I mean, some people seem to think it's kind of like an answer to a little bit of what's going on, but the problem with I've had with True Name is it's worse than Uro. It's like does get through endurances, but I mean, like, those decks also have Uro, which is kind of awkward, and it doesn't really do anything against it doesn't do nearly as much against Delver decks as you want it to, because Murktide Regent cracks in for a lot, and they have a bunch of flyers at this point, so they can just kind of ignore True Name Nemesis, which I have found to be effective playing as it. But it is good against Ragavan, and it does come down, and this deck has a lot of answers, so, like, you can just kind of, like, play True Name, clock him for 3, Swords of Murktide Regent, keep clocking him for 3. Jeskai Saga Monkey seems good. I mean, I think it just came in the finals of both challenges this previous weekend. And I think it's a very strong deck. I think it's, like, combining the two best cards from Modern Horizons, which generally, when they print the best cards in Modern Horizons, generally those end up being the best things you can do in the format. So, just, like, combining all the good cards in the best set seems pretty good. And it's a strong deck. I think it's really good. I haven't tried it yet because I haven't really wanted to play... with Urza Saga, but that's just because I don't want to get them until I know they're, like, going to be legal and everything for a while. So, but oh yeah, hey Robert. Yeah, I think it's good. We just 5-0'd. I 4-1'd my previous league with this. I fought one with basically your main deck and like the same sideboard as I have here. And then this one I added a 4th Stoneforge. With Cauldron in the mix, I really can't imagine going without the 4th Stoneforge. It's just like, if you can't cast this card. So you just like you're kind of like relying on Stoneforge a lot. And Stoneforge is super, super good. So, I've been pleased. I mean, it feels good. I'm going to play a little bit more with it. We'll see how much I can get in today. But, I've been pleased. What's the other? Yeah, basically I cut a Swords to Plowshares for the extra Stoneforge. A little bit high on the threat density, and I do think, like, with Cauldron, it's so important. Like, this card is nigh uncastable. I mean, I have cast it because Ragavan provides treasures, but it can be really tough. And then, of course, there's, like, Nullrod tension with us GT, but we just won 2 matches with Nullrod pretty much straight up, and I love Nullrod. I basically always played it. Yeah, no, I cast it yesterday, too, and it was good. It won the game. But, like, if I'm relying on, you know, a couple of Ragavan hits to do that, like, generally, people are good at stopping it, and if they aren't, Ragavan generating enough value anyway. But nevertheless, I think the 4th Stoneforge is really good. So, we're going to try a little bit more, see how this goes. I just cut 1 Swords to Plowshares, I think. Yeah, I cut 1 Swords to Plowshares. And I did find the deck having a lot of spot removal anyway, which is good right now because spot removal is good, but like, you just kind of end up in situations where like you're 1-for-1ing like a ridiculous amount, and having Stoneforge as like that like kind of 2-for-1 element, it makes the removal better, I think. So. Yeah, that seems fair. Okay, let's go on the play. Yeah, I mean, of course it's an awkward hand. It's definitely a keep. I think we are supposed to get Plateau, which kind of sucks. I mean, obviously it helps, it casts all the spells in our hand. The problem with Plateau is it telegraphs that we don't have a daze. But it's not like that matters too much. Like, oh, they know we don't have a daze. They still have to kill Ragavan anyway. And now if they kill Ragavan, they also have to kill Stoneforge because... And we can actually cast it, so... This hand is only really called the combo. Okay. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna sword here. They're gonna put the counters there. I'm gonna attack, get a thing. Get a treasure. We're going to prismatic ending this. And then we're going to waste on that. I have really liked Plateau in these Jeskai decks. It is awkward, but I found it more than necessary. It's been strong. It is awkward. Karn. Okay. I could just hold up Daze here. Maybe that's reasonable. Because I need to be able to connect with the Ragavan next turn anyway. I'm actually just going to hold up Daze. It's kind of weird, but... So Plateau felt very good for what we were able to do on turn 1 and turn 2. But it feels way worse here. Stoneforge Mystic is going to be pretty strong, though. Oh, nice! Nice! That was great. What do we do here? If I... So... Oh, they've had enough. But, so... 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It wasn't quite lethal with Delver. I think I was just going to hold up the days. That being said, I would guess Ragavan is, like, a little bit on the weaker end here. So, I mean, I've sided it out in all the matchups we've played so far. And I sided it fully out against Bomberman. But, that's just because Ragavan is... It's not literally the card Deathlight Shaman. Or, like, literally Dreadhorde Arcanist. Which I also sided out Dreadhorde Arcanist occasionally, too. So, it's just... There's a lot of counterplay to this card. That's just, like, a normal aspect of Magic. Like, blockers and stuff like that. Which actually ended up being kind of effective. So, I definitely want Prismatic Ending. Definitely want Wear Tear. Yeah, definitely want Nullard. I don't think I really need the Jite. Plus, it's bad against Karn. It's bad with my Null Rod. So I'd rather just, like, bring in the Battle Skull. Just, like, make Stoneforge a threat. I don't think I need Swords of Plowshares in larger numbers. I mean, I don't know exactly what these Dice Factory decks play. But I'm gonna guess Swords of Plowshares actually just, like, not a very good against Dice Factory. So I could just tide these out. I still have triple Prismatic Ending. It's good. I think... So, I've been trying a lot of different Delver decks, but the Jeskai variants have all felt really good to me. This particular list has been pretty good in the short amount of time I've played it. 4-1 and 5-0. But I've been working a lot on, like, a more traditional approach to Jeskai, which is just, like... Is it kind of splash white for good removal spells? And that's been very good as well. But I really like what Stoneforge has been adding. It feels good against enough of what's going on in Legacy right now. So, we'll try this. I don't know, but these numbers might be wrong. It might be right to bring out another Ragavan, but... It has multiple answers to stuff and pressure, but, like, it's not... I'm gonna keep it, but this hand isn't far from perfect. Yeah, Cauldron Complete definitely changes the name of the game a lot. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna ending that because Cornucopia is kind of like their bread and butter here. Maybe I actually just Wasteland. Because if I get rid of this, I don't think they have another Cornucopia. But the thing is, if I can play Ragavan, I can set up more potent next turns, and if the worst thing they do is Karn, it's not that bad. And if I can get punished by a Soul Land no matter what, because if I Wasteland and they go Soul Land, I'm pretty sure I don't want to Wasteland because it's exactly the same thing to Prismatic Ending this, and I can Wasteland on the following turn, and this lets me develop my mana a little bit better. If they go Soul Land into Karn, it doesn't matter, I can't stop that. There's nothing I can do to stop that. Ragavan's the only thing I could potentially have an impact there. But it's not even a bad thing if they play Soul Land Karn, because I can just bolt the Karn, potentially. Okay, I'm gonna get a Plateau. I'm just gonna hit the Cornucopia. I think playing a little bit reactively is good here, because I don't have a ton of answers, and their deck can do a lot of scary stuff. Like, this hand's good at Mana Denial right now, so. Saga. Okay. I'm happy I didn't Wasteland, because I want to Wasteland that. So we'll just do that. Cast Ragavan. I mean, I could have just hit the tomb and then hope they don't have the mana for the saga and it just goes away. But, okay. Go, I guess. We've played against, like, a bunch of artifact decks, and the matches hasn't been extremely exciting, but, I mean, like, Legacy blue decks can disrupt those decks effectively, and sometimes you get obliterated and crushed, and sometimes, you know, it's Legacy, so. I'm actually going to be right back. I'm going to have some coffee. So give me 1 second. I will be right back. Okay, we're back. Didn't have to go very far, so. Cool. Okay, let's crack back in. Yeah, definitely a lot of things I'm not sure that I want to play or what's particularly good. Like, I don't know if Soul God Lantern's what I want to go, especially when I have, like, Delverblade in my sideboard. But I think Soul God Lantern's pretty decent. I don't know about, like, my plan against Bant yet. I mean, it feels like I have a decent amount of good cards to kind of force them to, like, that allowed me to grind through them a little bit and give me a little bit of value, but I really don't love that True Name is, like, worse than Uro. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm not sure, like, Cataclysm feels very... It feels very awkward, but, like, I can see that being particularly good in that situation. I don't know. Maybe it's true that the matchup is bad enough where you need to go to a Haymaker like that. But I'm not sure. It also seems decent against lands, I suppose. Maybe? You're blowing up a lot of your own lands, too, so... Like, I know you ever really casting it? This would be a good hand if either of these equipment were anything but equipment. I'm gonna mulligan this. I don't think just playing Stoneforge and not getting card advantage out of it, and like... I mean, maybe I don't need the card advantage because it's just like... But like, it also doesn't have an answer to Ragavan. This hand doesn't really do anything, I don't think. I think we can do better. This isn't an exciting hand, but I think it is better. We're gonna put back Tundra. Let's see what happens here. Might just left a Chalice Resolve. Man, we played against a lot of the city decks. Defense Grid? Off City of Traders? That's interesting. Joe, it's not like True Name's a good threat here anyway, so slowing myself down along that plan seems fine. So is this like Mono Red Storm? I don't really want to wasteland the City Traders, although it might be correct. Of the days. Okay, well, drawing days makes me just want to hold my mana up. Sure. Oh, so more of this artifact stuff? More of this artifact stuff. Okay. I'm just gonna waste the city, I think. Oh, ending is actually kind of interesting, isn't it? But not that interesting. It doesn't do anything. Like, I hit the Grimmonolith, which is already tapped. The punish for killing city is, one, that they have a lot of mana in general, and two, that they just, now they get to, it opens up their other lands. I'm gonna guess the City Traders deck won't have Urza Saga, because that's not a particularly good combination of cards. Yeah, I'm just gonna waste on the city. I might get punished. But my hand isn't really doing anything. A true name isn't going to stop what they're trying to do. Like, it will apply pressure eventually, but, like, from turn 1, it's like a 9-turn clock. Assuming I get true name down on turn 3, like... And I'd rather just, like, yeah. Because now they have no mana. Okay. I mean, like, obviously that worked out for me, but I think the wasteland was good, and I think the days on the defense good ended up being pretty good. True name is just not a threat. So we've done nothing but play against artifact decks where we want no odd. GTA seems bad. Skull is probably fine. Sword Splasher seems pretty bad. Bolt seems substantially better. Yeah, Metal Mage could be good. Name like Mystic Forge or name Karn, the Great Creator. Yeah, that seems reasonable. So I need to bring out one more card, but that seems doable. Ragavan doesn't seem like it's gonna get blocked too easily. Maybe we just don't need the Batterskull. Like, what is Batterskull doing? Like, if I just get Kaldra down, it's fine. Bolt hits Karn, which is fine. Yeah, it just seems okay. We played against Affinity, Bomberman, Dice Factory, and Mystic Forge. If this ain't a Forcible, I would probably keep it. I just don't feel like this hand is gonna beat my opponent. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it has pressure, but like... The second Stormforge doesn't even do anything anyway. Which is fine. Like, even if it did something, it wouldn't do anything. Like, even if it got Batterskull. Like, what I mean is it's just, like, not a card. It's just way too slow. I'm gonna mulligan. I just can't really imagine that hand doing it. This seems a lot better. So, let's go Bolt... Delver? Yeah. This hand's actually nice because we can go turn 1 Delver, which pressures Karn. It's a little slow for beating a Mystic Forge, though. Yep. So there's no point in wastelanding. If I draw Force Will, I'm probably just holding the Delver. Because I think Meddling Mage is probably more important. Although I'll be put to the test if I do it. Okay, so we'll just do this. Play Delver. So yeah, we're fine-ish against Karn. Just because, like, we have pressure on board. Well, I don't think any of our other hands would have done it here. Sure, yeah. I think I name Mystic Forge not Karn, just because I can attack Karn. No, maybe I do name Karn. How do they win if I name Karn? Can they win? They probably have like one Walkie Buster in their deck. I'm gonna name Karn. Oh, Novad? Okay, we've been drawing pretty well today. Okay, Novad has earned its weight in gold here. Novad has been pretty good so far. I mean, I hate leaving home without Novad. Novad is such a good card. Alright, cool. So what you owe? I'm trying to get, like... I don't really base a lot of, like, conclusions on decks based on, like, the hard and fast results. Like, these results don't really mean that much. I've only played against artifact decks. It's like, I can draw Noad and beat an artifact deck. The deck does feel good, though. In some of the fairer matchups, it's been nice to have Stoneforge. It lets you play a slightly longer game that's not based on like expressive iteration, and plays a little bit more to the board, which is very good in a lot of matchups. Yeah, it is cool. Okay. See where we're at. Yorion. Okay, so we played against 3 companions today. That's funny. Okay, this is a good hand. This hand's gonna put them to the test. I mean... Turn 1 Ragavan, if they don't have a removal, that's pretty good. Turn 2 Stoneforge, if they don't have a removal, that's really good. See what they got. Plains Plow. Prismatic Ending, sure. Okay, so we'll put them to the test here. Even if they do, we have, like, the card advantage off that is pretty nice. Oh, that's a decent draw, too. I definitely just want to play Stoneforge here. It's the highest upside for sure. I think Lug Delver's good. I don't know how to build it. I've seen... Oh, okay. They have the answers. Yep. So it's just like Miracles with Yoria? Sure. Regardless seems reasonable, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, you could build a little more green heavy, get endurance and Uro, or you could just, like, build it more like a traditional Delver deck with, like, Tarmogoyf and, like, Mugtide Regent. There's, like, a bunch of big threats, which is kind of nice. So we're gonna cast with... Chose to not shuffle. I'm gonna play this land, I'm just gonna cast this with Dash. If they Force of Will, I probably will Brainstorm, because I kind of want to Brainstorm anyway. On this... If I don't get something off of them... Sylvan, that is fabulous. They could Teferi, which would be annoying, because they'd get it back, but... Yep, good. I mean, that's good for them. I mean, I'm gonna Ragavan to kill the Teferi at the very least. So... Daze is a decent draw. Not perfect, but decent. Okay, that's... Now we're entering problematic range. True Name's good, though. So how do we do this? I can't play... I mean, I could have Brainstormed, but I didn't have another land locked up, right? That seemed bad. I think we're just gonna cast True Name. Go no. Could Brainstorm. I don't see a particularly good reason to Brainstorm here. Okay. So they have Sylvan Library in hand. We can't cast anything. True Name will deal with the Teferi. It's probably aren't that many answers to True Name. We're just going to play True Name, and that's going to be the only thing we do right now. We'll Brainstorm Ponder next turn. I can't do anything, so... We drew Daze in at the only extremely awkward time, which is fine. We've gotten really lucky in the previous matches, so, you know, that's nothing. But it is funny that, like... It would have been really good to counter the Teferi, and it would have been good on, like, any of their other cards. But we drew it after they had the Teferi, at the exact crux in which they're going to be able to play around it for the rest of the game. But that's not a big deal. It's just a little funny. Hello? Oh, yep, okay. I mean, that's good. It is beatable, though. So they drew an extra card off Sylvan, and let's see if they put a land into play. They did, okay. So we're gonna have to be concerned with Uro next turn, but for now we're okay. We're gonna get to kill the Teferi. Just on there, so I can cast spells. Is there a card? Oh, they're gonna Brainstorm? To, like, try to Terminus me? Mystic Sanctuary, put Terminus. Ah, I see. They found a Brainstorm. Or a Ponder, whatever. Okay. Okay, this is getting a little bit tricky. Sure. Sure. Okay, so we're gonna we're gonna brainstorm ponder. Let's see what we can get going here. Ending. Don't want Cauldron for sure. And Daze is like very, very far from being a card. Let me see what I can find here. I have multiple permanents I want to get rid of, and I need to be mindful of this arrow. So I can't just willy-nilly fire off this prismatic ending, I don't think. But let's brainstorm. Oh no, let's ponder first. No, these cards aren't gonna do it. Do I have to try to find Stoneforge Mystic as like the only way that's gonna kind of like keep me in this? If I... The Teferi is a problem, but like... They're gonna play Ovo... Play Delver, and then like... It's not like I'm gonna be forcing pitching Brainstorm, because I can't do that anyway. But then 3 of my mana is locked up next turn. Is Uro more problematic than Library? Yeah, I think the answer to that is yes. Okay, I think it's probably right just to play Delver. It's not a pretty situation, but... I can just have 6. I guess I could technically bounce my Delver, but... Yeah, Uro makes sense. Hey, Alex, thanks for the subscription. Much appreciated. Toss those Bezo bucks. I am very cool. That is very true. Mountain. Fluttershrine, that's awful. So I'm gonna brainstorm because if I find Swords to Plowshares, okay, these are cards. Put back that and that. We're gonna Prismatic Ending Uro, and then we're gonna Prismatic Ending the Sylvan, assuming we are able to. I will like it. Hey, thanks for the subscription, Robert. Counterspell. So I ending or do I just have to hold this? Library, oh, it feels like this has reached a point of no return, potentially. I'm gonna hit the library. I think I just have to spike a Sword Splashes and beat this that way. I don't know. Like, it's awkward because I drew the second one, and now I would have just killed the Sylvan last turn, but... That's true, we're getting there. Sure. They didn't put a land in. Probably means they have all spells. technically not dead. Yep. They have 5 cards, one of them being a Urian. No! Okay, we're dead. Just True Name's not gonna do it. That's fine. I mean, they drew the Terminus on turn 2, which was obviously really good. So, let's see. I like Weirtail, Nugset for sure. Pyroblast, probably Soul Guide Lantern. It's good against at least 2 of the cards they've shown me, being Uro and Mystic Sanctuary. I really don't know if I like Bolt. I'm bringing in... Oh, and Prismatic Ending for sure. I generally like bringing out some Wasteland. I think I'm going to cut down to 1 Plow. Then we have 3 Exile Answers. Or 4 Exile Answers for... Oh. I probably want Force of Negation. It's probably right to just bring out another Wasteland, honestly. Like, I'm still gonna have 17 lands for Karakas. This seems good to me. I mean, oh, you know, I'm supposed to bring in Bad Skull, too. Maybe I only want 1 Soul Guide Lantern, then. It's not like they have a heavy graveyard deck. And I have cards that exile. Sure. Okay. Yeah, this is a good hand. It's a little awkward against Terminus, but if I want to make it less awkward against Terminus, I could just go turn 1 Delver and then plan on dashing Ragavan. I think they're probably going to answer the Delver anyway. Yeah, I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to lead on Delver. It's a little potentially a little counterintuitive, but because like Ragavan uncontested on turn 1, but I don't have a way to protect it anyway. I will play the second one because they are playing Yorion. And so it's less likely for them to blind Terminus me. And if they cast Brainstorm, I'll just Power Blast it. They could have like Engineered Explosives or something, but I mean, there's only so much I can do against Yorion. Yorion decks, you know, they have a lot of cards. Carpet Flowers? Sylvan. I don't mind Sylvan. Sylvan's problematic if they just like have Terminus on top and then it does a lot. Daze is good. Do I want the Daze? It's at least forcing them to like respect it. So yeah, I think I do. I'm gonna get a Plateau to insulate a little bit against Carpet of Flowers. Attack for 8. And return to my hand. Okay, so this is decent. So they kind of need to just like natural Terminus pretty quickly here. This is certainly one of the decks I'm trying to figure out the right way to play against it with the new Modern Horizons 2 cards in the mix. Good draw. I mean, better is relative. I think it's good. Like, better in what way? Like, wins more tournaments? I mean, I don't know. It feels good. It feels like it answers a couple of problems that Blue-Red Delver has, but it raises its own set of issues that need to be addressed. I'm gonna Power Blast this. It is good. It is good against Is It Delver? If they don't have, like, if they don't just, like, wasteland you into oblivion. Okay, well, I don't have bolts in my deck, so if they found a Terminus, it didn't look like they did, though. I guess my point is I don't really adhere to the notion of, like, better in the abstract. You know what I mean? Like, it's just really hard to gauge because, like, it's still just, like, the Delver shell. So it's going to do, like, the Delvery stuff. And it's just kind of, like, what issues, what complications arise because you built your deck in this way. And what answers are you actually addressing when you build your deck in this way? And then does it, like, specifically work in the metagame you're trying to make it work in, you know? Like, hey, Kane, thanks for the follow. You can't resist Stoneforge Mystic. I kind of wonder, so I'm on the draw. Days definitely gets a lot worse. But I kind of want the ability to just, like, check the Teferis on turn 3. Maybe one bolt is better than a Daze. So, like, these are the cards I would consider, like, cutting. I don't think I want to bring in another Wasteland. Yeah, Manriki is done. We're off the Manrikis. I mean, that card was never good, though, so. Very, very slow to do what you wanted it to do. It was okay in Death and Dexes. Never particularly effective in these Jeskai. Or in, like, these Delver decks or the traditional Stoneforge decks. One bolt. One bolt. One bolt over 1 days? Yeah, that seems reasonable. Oh, no, hold on. I mean, Sword Splash is so awkward, too, because they have, like... Maybe I just don't even want the Sword Splash shares. They have, like, less potential to find Uro. Like, it's less likely that they find Uro. Right? Because they have more cards. But, like, they could still have Endurance, which would be awkward at times. I'm gonna leave it in the bolt, and if I draw it, I'm gonna be like, okay, is this better than the Sword Splash shares? But we'll see. We will see. Drawing Caldra here sucks. The rest of the hand is fine-ish. This is not a very good hand. Like, it doesn't have early pressure, but it has the ability to, like, ponder into a meaningful threat. Like, finding a Soulforge would be fine. It has some ability to protect itself. No, Delver's just not the threat we need here. We need to find Brainstorm or Stormforge Mystic, pretty much. I'll daze the Sylvan. I don't usually daze the Sylvan. I'll daze this too. I don't usually daze this early, but we don't have anything to do. And converting dazes in this matchup can be really important. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing I can do about that anyway. I'm kind of dazing anything, and the fact that they're fetching means they're playing a 2, so... I mean, I would think it would mean they're playing a 2. Maybe they're playing another Abundant Growth? I mean, obviously they have a million lands and I'm down to 0, so that kind of sucks, but... Daze is, like, not very good against Miracles, in case it wasn't clear. They can play around it, and like you have to set yourself back early to get any value out of it at all. That being said, we're not doing anything, so it's like okay, but top. I think they have a Terminus in hand. They had like a pause that kind of felt like it. I'll play Delver. I guess Flutter Strand is an okay land to play here. Very cool with the Sword Spell Shares. Less cool with them like OOing me, but at least we have a little bit of ways to check that. So now if we draw Bolt, obviously it's terrible. So, but so would Sword Spell Shares be, pretty much. Back to basics. I will pass on that. Not great. Not great. And we know they don't have more lands in hand. So, I'm going to say we're probably losing unless we get a pretty fortunate draw coming up here. Or they, like, play right into our cards. They're putting Yorion into their hand. Okay. They have 5 cards. They're probably all answers and one's a Terminus. So, Terminus, Yorion, 4 blanks. Certainly a cost by having, like, equipment in your deck and trying to cast them. But we have drawn a lot of lands, which kind of, like, it's not like this deck has more lands than a normal Delver deck. They have 6 cards in hand, and they didn't play a land. This is so bad for me. We certainly would have gotten to casting Kaldra right now if we didn't daze twice, but, like, they would have had a Sylvan and an Ice Fang. I guess I hope they don't have a Force of Will, and they're thinking they can't possibly have another daze, and they run Yorion into this. Mentor? Oh man, I can't beat Mentor. It's just not good enough, but I mean, I'm gonna play it, obviously. True name into Cauldra? If Cauldra resolves? Could do something? It feels like they have Counterspell, and they were thinking about doing it, but they didn't want to run into a Daze. Which is consistent with the fact that they didn't play Yorion, because they didn't want to run into Daze. But they did think about it a little bit. I think, like, Mentor Hold Up Counterspell is something I would be very happy to do if I were in this situation. Like, okay, well, we gotta trust in Cauldra here. We're gonna cast it, but that's only because we've done nothing. Will it be good enough? Like Sword Splashers, Answers there. I mean, we can equip it. I mean, that's something. I'm gonna fetch. I mean, I can afford a fetch. A little late to the party. Alright. Show me Force of Will. There is a downside to building your deck like this. If this resolves, we could do some work. Because then Ragavan can give up to the Cauldra. They need to have, like, not Force Will. Okay, I mean, I'm gonna attack, because I mean, it's a lot to kill us, right? 5. They'd have to cast 5 spells for 1 mana, and that would be exactly lethal. And then even if they answer the Germ, I get to Ragavan on this. It's something. Well, if they like hardcast Terminus, we have Daze. And that would be good for us. I would love it if they Terminus. Because then we'd cast Ragavan equipped to the Cauldra. Which would give it haste.
Choose your fighter.
Ending is okay. So we're going to take 5. I'm going to go Ragavan equip. Probably just bash with Ragavan. Just because it's like I'm almost dead at this stage. Is it? I thought it was 5. Oh, it is 7. Oh, that's a bummer. I don't know if I can do this then. I guess I just give up to True Name because they can't really attack into that. Obviously, I can't attack. Yeah, I guess it is just better to do this because then they need an answer to Cauldra to do something. I mean, they have 5 cards in hand, they've cantripped a million times, and they've missed all land drops. Like, their hand has to be, like, it's Yorion plus, hypothetically, a Terminus that they probably brainstormed away. So I'm gonna guess their hand is pretty gassed up. The question is, can they, like, answer this? But it only takes, like, a Teferi. And then they can just, like, do whatever they want. Yep. We already... Cool. I mean, that draw was really poor, but, like, the keep seemed okay, and I mean, I'm okay with that. Alright. 2-1. Let's, get right back in. I guess it makes sense to just sort of equip with 7. Same equip as casting it. Which is the same as Basco, right? Yeah. That makes sense. Oh, right. I could see what this deck would, like, cut a Wasteland, too, and actually play the Caracas in the main. Like, Wasteland's obviously very good against Urza Saga. But there's a lot of decks where it's, like, not that good, and Caracas is good against Ragavan, too. And good with Ragavan, while also giving you another white source for Stoneforge. Okay, decent hand. And if they have, like, Tome 1 Ragavan with Dave's backup, it's going to be a little tricky, but... Okay, well, we drew the days, so... So now we have Turn 2 Stoneforge with Dave's backup, which is pretty good. Yeah, I'm not taking that. No land. Okay, so now this is very good for us. It could have been bad for sure. There's a lot of ways that this game could have gone poorly, but this is not too bad. So I know they're Brainstorm locked. I think I want to... If they bolt this, I'm just going to play Stoneforge number 2. I'm going to let this resolve, play Stoneforge number 2, because then I can daze... I can daze playing around their daze. Yeah, that's fine. I guess I just cast a Ragavan. I don't think they have a daze. And if they do, I can daze back. Okay. Actually, let me fetch here. I don't need to get aggressive yet. This I'm gonna daze. Okay. This could have gone poorly for sure, but luckily they whiffed on a Brainstorm, didn't have a daze to back up their thing, and we drew probably the best card there, so... So I want these 6 cards for sure. I don't love Force of Will, although it's a little bit better these days than it used to be. I like trimming a Wasteland sometimes against blue-red, which it kind of feels like it is. We don't necessarily have that information for sure, but it's pretty reasonable. Batterskull does seem good, but like, how many equipment do I want? Like, the Stoneforgers are gonna die a lot. I could see a world where I want Batterskull over Caldra. Let's say I just did this. Let's just take a look. I could see cutting a True Name because I don't find it extremely effective in this matchup. It is nice to just like have a threat that they can't kill when it's on board. And I guess combining with Sword Splashes and Prismatic Endings. GTA might be too slow. It does keep... If it's just for life gain, it's definitely worse than Batterskull. The fact that I can gear up... Like, once I do this, it makes me want True Name a little bit less too, because now that's like not quite as much of a thing. But like, what do I leave in? Just like a Force of Will? That seems kind of underwhelming. Maybe this is just fine. GTA is like decent to draw, but like the fact that it doesn't kill Nullset for a True Name. Could be. Does this deck have enough? Yeah, okay. I could try that. They're both kind of like sticky things. Nullset digs for answers. I mean, I could cut a Daze too, but the early game is so important, I think. Maybe not, though. Maybe I just cut a Daze and bring in the Nullset anyway. That actually sounds pretty decent. Because the games do just end up in, like, slugs where everybody has a bunch of lands in play. That's an excellent suggestion, Jax. I'm gonna think about that. That's an excellent suggestion. Just like the old Deathblade decks. They were just like, you know what? I'm going to be okay in the mirror match, and I'm just always going to lose to Jax, the Magic player. If I get paired against them. I'm gonna keep this. I don't think I can mulligan this. I need to find another land, but it has like a nice start. If they start on Ragavan, it kind of sucks, because I have to block. Well, I'm relying on blocking. Whether I'm going to be able to block or not is yet to be seen. One hit from Ragavan could be okay if they don't have a Wasteland. Because we just need to find a white source. Sure. They get some card advantage. That's acceptable. Just kind of need to dodge a Wasteland here. Notice that could have been Force of Will. Notice it would have been True Name. Force of Will seems better, but that's only because this is like the early game. And we're not making... As of right now, we're not necessarily making it through the early game. Trop. Careful study. What is going on? Madness? They are playing Madness. Interesting. Okay, that's cool. Well, Nothing really matters but white source right now, so. Sure. Stoneforge does a pretty decent job at keeping this board in check. If they daze my plow, I guess I don't mind if they take the bolt. Because I have another plow. Oh, I don't have to plow because that's Caracas. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Right, it's Caracas, obviously. Stoneforge is probably going to be pretty decent. I'm okay with this. Do I wasteland? I kind of want to. Does wasteland help me at all? It helps me play around days, and then, you know, no, I'm not gonna wasteland, because then I can play Stoneforge with Power Blast back up. I'll take 3. More of this, okay. So, yeah, it's probably best to just get rid of the blazings. I think I'm gonna play Stoneforge, get Batterskull, and waste the Volcanic after. It's a little risky, but it plays around Lightning Bolt, it plays around Daze. Batterskull clears up the board. This has been an interesting match. I did not expect the whole madness thing to be happening here, but it's pretty sick. Okay, I think we're all set. Because now we have plenty of removal. We have a life gain engine. Pyroblast to stop like careful studies or whatever. Let's just brainstorm. If I find Cauldron, I'll just put it in, obviously. I don't think I need another set. Daze still seems good. True Name's ostensibly okay. I don't think I need True Name, though. I guess I'll just draw it. It's okay. I don't know if I'm casting it, though. Because it plays right into Daze. Hey, thanks for the follow, Nuggy0IW. Nah, I don't really want it. I'm just gonna fetch. I just don't want to play into Daze for no reason. Like, we're in a pretty good situation. Yep, we'll do this. Maybe I should have attacked with the Stoneforge last turn. If they double block, I'll just kill one. I'll use Days here. Okay. I accept Ragavan. So we have them at 2 with the lightning bolt in hand. So hot. Doing such work. Arc like Phoenix. Nice. They're doing the wacky brew, but I like it. I would guess Demi-Lich is probably in their deck. So they'll Madness a creature here as a blocker. No, they've discarded Ancient Grudge. Okay, that is acceptable. Cast with dash. So good thing we killed the red source, because otherwise we would have gotten grudged. Yeah, I'll return it. I have Bolt plus Pyroblast, so they're dead anyway, but I can do that. I can do that with the treasure, so I might as well just like play in the most conservative possible way. Okay. Lava doesn't quite kill them. This does. Okay, well, they were playing something else. I think if they were just Delver, I would have been in a worse situation, if I'm honest. But, because it was more likely they'd wasteland me. But, I accept. Okay, so we're 3-1. Let's see how we can end this league with our last match. It's probably going to be my last match, too. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. This has been fun. Returning to some of my roots. Stoneforge, my favorite card of all time, pretty much. I mean, not like literally, but it's up there. I think the combination of Stoneforge and Ragavan makes a lot of sense. It is clunky, though, for sure. Is that legit? And it's a little hard to tell. I mean, Ragavan's actually legitimately on my list as one of my favorites because I love apes and monkeys, and this, I mean, everything about it is great. It's the only thing I don't like is how really powerful it is, because it's probably gonna get like banned and have a lot of like negative. It's gonna have like a lot of negative like energy surrounding it, but I love Ragavan. Just as the card, I mean, I instantly got 4 to go right in my ape collection, which I guess is also going to go in my, all my decks until it gets banned, but. Listen, that sounds like you guys should probably find a working build to test. Oh no, that sounds horrible. Getting duressed by, yeah, that. Can't keep this. One of the hands where Plateau is really costly. This is a good hand. It kind of feels like I'm just supposed to put back Lightning Bolt, because Stoneforge off Tundra with Days Forcible backup is decent. It really sucks if they play Ragavan. But I think it's okay because it makes my mana a lot more concise. It gives me, this is like a focused plan. Okay, no Ragavan. I don't even want to ponder. I'm not looking for anything. I don't know what I'm playing against, and it's a blue card for my fourth duel, so. That's decent. Let's go Scalding Tarn, and we're going to fetch. I had a moment's pause of whether I was just going to play the Wasteland. This loses me a fetched land, but what it does is it plays a little bit more around Stifle, plus, like, stuff. I don't know if it plays around it enough to, like, justify that, because if they Stifled me, I still can't daze it, so I'd have to Force Will. And Stifle's also just good against Stoneforge. It also conceals the fact that I have Wasteland if they're going to get a couple of things. Will I daze an Ice-Fang Quaddle because it doesn't matter? Yeah, probably. Maybe not, actually. It really doesn't matter. Okay, well, they don't have that anyway. So is this Show and Tell then? I think it's Show and Tell. Our clock is quite quick. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 2 turns. This gets to attack through Emrakul, which is actually kind of sick, but... I'll bolt. I'll just bolt. Use my mana. Yeah, let's attack. I'm gonna play Stoneforge, get GTA and not play it if they cast Show and Tell. Like, I want the ability to Wasteland a fetch in case that's the kind of, like, they're not gonna fetch. And if they Show and Tell, I'll put it in anyway, and that will give me enough permanents. So they need to have, like, Show and Tell, Omniscience, Emrakul, or like Show and Tell, Omniscience, something to do, a Forcible blue card. It was just like a lot there. So we just had a fast clock there, and that's the power of Kaldra. So Caracas for sure, Pyroblast for sure, Narset, Wear Tear, Meddling Mage. Maybe Prismatic Ending. Definitely don't want Swords. Definitely don't want Jet. Definitely don't want True Name. Definitely don't want Bolt. And I don't think I want Bolt in any quantity, which means I can probably bring in the ending. Because it hits Sylvan, if they're playing that. It hits Carpet of Flowers, which is pretty common, I think. And it hits, like, their sideboard cards, like Uro and stuff. So this is just like a really lean approach. This is a lot of Stoneforges for one Kaldra, but you only need one to stick and get Kaldra in play. So it's probably okay. I could actually see bringing out a Wasteland. I do generally bring out Wasteland in some quantity. Yeah, I know they're not interacting with Kaldra. It's just like, do I want extra copies of Stoneforge to do anything? Like, it doesn't matter that much. One thing I Kaldra in play, playing a Stoneforge after that to get a Battle Skull, it's a little bit hard to imagine that being meaningful. Is it better than a Wasteland? Not really. I think this is fine. Maybe one Bolt is better than one Wasteland because I'm bringing in Caracas. They have a lot of basics. They'd have to show me Boseiju. And this just gives me a little bit of, like, a little bit of reach in a game that might be otherwise difficult to win. It also kills Ice-Fang Quaddles. That's not in 0. Good hand. Not, like, I'm going to say not perfect because, like, we have a plateau instead of, like, a Forcible, but this is a very strong hand. They can play around Dazes for sure, but the fact that we have the Stoneforge for Cauldra means we'll probably be able to get a lot going on before they can kind of keep up. Trop Shuffle. I think they just don't have lands. That's my guess. I would have been put to the test if I drew a Wasteland. And I think I would have used it. I did side out one, which, of course, is a little punishing here. But if we draw Lightning Bolt, then we'll know. But Carpet is concerning. Okay, this is fine. I mean, one of the things that has to be noted, too, about this deck is that, like, I love Stoneforge Mystic, and I love playing with it, and it's a really, like, the play patterns are really enjoyable, and that matters a lot when you're playing a deck. Like, once you play this kind of deck enough, some of the fail states get really, like, taxing. Like, you just draw Cauldras and Battle Skulls, and you can't play a game. But, like, it's really enjoyable to just play Stoneforge on turn 2, protect it, and I've just, like, I like doing that. So, okay, so if they go Carpet Flowers, things get kind of annoying. Because our Daisies are blank. If they just play Show and Tell off of a normal land, like, obviously that's good. If they play it off a Soul Land, okay, there's Boseiju. So that's a problem. Probably problem enough where I should try to find a Wasteland. Maybe I'm supposed to ponder to do that. I'd have to just, like... Now, I mean, it's kind of sucks, obviously, because I can't stop this Boseiju. But I think the only thing I can really do is... And now that I see Boseiju, I am definitely leaving in my Wastelands. I didn't draw Lightning Bolt, so I didn't draw my replacement. But I'm just doing this. It's not going to be good enough, but... Yep, nothing I can do. Sure. I'm just gonna do what I can. Which is double Dazes Impulse. I mean, I can't put Nusset into play. Okay. I'm just waiting for them to show me that they have both of the creatures that will kill me. Okay, cool. Yeah, that was... I mean, we didn't draw a Wasteland replacement. I mean, Boseiju's a good card, for sure. So, nothing to particularly worry about there, I don't think. And we'll just run it back. We have a lot of good combinations of cards to draw. Is Prismatic Ending betting us something else? I don't think so. Yeah, if only we had a Force Duel, we could have kept that Boseiju in check. I mean, we could have, like, stopped the Cunning Wish for sure. Like, maybe I'm not supposed to double daze the Impulse. Oh my god, this hand. This is a tough one. I think this is a mulligan because this hand sucks. Outside of the fact that I can Meddling Mage Show and Tell, which is potentially good, but they also have Cunning Wish in their deck, so they have, like, answers. I'm gonna mulligan. I don't think just Meddling Mage and nothing else is good enough. I'm gonna keep this. We're gonna put back a double. We have plenty of that. Yeah, this one seems a lot better. So, certainly, like, cold to stuff, but... What Pressure plus Daze is really nice. At least taxes to Poseidon a little bit, if that's what they're going to lean on. And if they're not going to lean on that, like, it means Daze is potentially going to be more meaningful, because they have to go off a little more quickly. I am going to Brainstorm on turn 2, and I don't think I'm going to Daze early. If I just draw Force of Will, I'm probably just going to play another Delver. They went bottom. Okay. Arid Mesa. Okay, so no. And I do want to Brainstorm. I think. Yeah, because it lets me set up no set as opposed to have pressure, which is probably pretty good. There's a couple ways to do this. I can put back Volk, Stoneforge, play Mesa, and just have Force put no. Like, I don't need the third land. I could just, like, rely on my Delvers plus Daze plus Force. I don't need the Stoneforge. Yeah, that seems better. It's unfortunate because I might not flip my Delvers, but it's not. It's, like, not that bad. No, I just, I don't value setting up my Delvers to flip, like, that much. I'd rather make sure I sculpt my hand as good as possible. Like, sure, like, maybe my Delvers won't flip for a while now, and that's gonna suck, but, there's almost nothing that they can't flip off of that, like, super bothers me. Okay, sure. I'm not playing more lanes anyway. I'm gonna roll just Daze here, because it actually denies them a mana. We'll do it like this, just in case they draw Pyroblast, so I don't have to land on the land. They're forcing. Oh, that's interesting. I'm not gonna force the OO. Yeah, hopefully we transform. I mean, obviously if we don't, it's rough, but... But it's like it's not heinous. They don't have more lands. Now I have to... I still don't... I think I'm just gonna hold this Force Will, though. It is nice to get this now set in play, but... It is also my only blue card, and I do need to beat what they're doing still. Like, maybe transforming Delvers there would have been good enough. Like, this probably would have been good enough based on, like, what they literally had. Okay, another carpet's fine. So I'd like to draw a Pyroblast, a Daze. Like, they're not playing another land, too, which is actually kind of okay. If I draw Wasteland, I'll probably just hit my Volk. Yeah, that denies them a fair amount of mana. Force of Will, okay. So I'm going to attack for 6. I am going to force the Uro. And I'm going to hope to draw a blue card. And it's unfortunate if they have, like, another force. They pondered kept, so... I mean, I don't know exactly what that means, but... I could have just played my second Delver and not brainstormed. Well, let's see if they have another Force of Will. They really only get one shot at Uro, but they also have 5 cards in hand, so... So now I think if this works, I think Wasteland's my best draw, because I can just hit myself and deny them a lot of mana. Because they clearly don't have another land. Okay, so they have that. That's potentially okay. Because I can draw Pyroblast, which is, like, reasonable. Stoneforge would also be potentially fine. I mean, it's a little awkward because I give them a lot of mana, but... Brainstorm. I'm not, like, racing the carpets. I don't have a Daze. I mean, I'm not racing the Uro. I kind of feel like I have to brainstorm here. It could go really poorly, because if I don't find a blue card, that sucks. But the problem is if I hit for 8, they're going to go to 11, I'm going to go to 11. They go to 5. I go to 5. They go to 8. Yeah, I'm not winning the race anyway, and I don't have bolts in my deck. I think I have to brainstorm. Not pretty. Probably not going to win this game because they have 4 spells in hand. And maybe this whole game comes back to the fact that I didn't transform my Delvers early enough. So maybe I was just supposed to try to flip them, but it does feel like I sculpted my hand pretty well. Well, it's not over, obviously, but how do I do this? So I attack for 6. This actually does let me win the race, though. So it's not like it's over. I can go Wasteland as my land for turn. Assuming they don't have anything. Wasteland as my land for turn. And then next turn go Tundra, Mystic, waste one of my lands, because I'm going to have the extra land anyway. Keep them down to a minimal amount of mana. And then I'll get to put in the thing, which is exactly lethal. Right, we did also have Caracas, which would have been very good. So let's go Volk, Tundra, play Wasteland. And this is one of the reasons I like bringing out Wasteland, because it's just not really much of a card in the face of, like, Carpet of Flowers. But against Boseiju, you kind of need it. And it would have been good. It would have denied them a lot of mana this game, obviously. So they can have 5 mana post-combat. They have so many spells in hand. I suppose if they just cast Show and Tell. It gives us some outs. They shuffled. That's a good sign. Potentially. Okay, well, if I found a blue card, I feel like I would be okay here, but... Gristlebrand by itself. If we draw Karakas, we have lethal. No, we don't, because we... Oh, that's awkward. Well, they can't... They at the very least can't draw if we draw Karakas. Which I think is what cantripping into. I could just put in the Cauldron. That doesn't really do anything off right now. Okay, let's ponder. Let's see what we get. No, we don't have any plows in our deck. So they can have a million mana, of course. If I put in Cauldron and attack, they go to 6. They gain so much life in the backswing. And I have to jump block. So that's meaningless. I might as well just hold back. They're going to go up to 18 anyway, but now they can't attack with the Uro. Oh, do you think this is bad enough for the only way we win is if they block the Cauldron? I mean, maybe that's true. Yeah, removal for Devil Block would have been really good. So what do we do here? I think I'm more likely to win the game 7. They're gonna have so much mana. And so much life. Is the best way for me to win, like, with Karakas? Like, I just have to draw Karakas? So they attack with nothing but Gristlebrand. They gain... But then, like, so... Let's see the permutations here. I put in Cauldron and I attack with just Cauldron. They take 5 down to 6. They attack back, which gains them 7 up to 13, 16. With we have to chump block one of them, which preferably would be the Gristlebrand. So then we have 9 power. It almost feels like I'm more likely to win with them straight up whiffing on 8 draw steps, which seems super unlikely, but like it's probably more likely than winning by attacking with Cauldron, because then they just get to freely attack with both their creatures if they don't block with Gristlebrand, which seems like they probably won't do. So Yeah, that's okay. These blue-green decks can definitely be problematic. Carpet of Flowers is still just really good. Like, we had the max removal for the carpets, but... I'm happy we didn't keep the first hand, though. The one with Meddling Mage and Prismatic End. It felt like that wouldn't have been good enough anyway. This lets us exile the Uro if they attack with it. And if they just attack with Gristlebrand, they pay 7, they whiff. Like, as much of a whiff as they realistically can, which is not much. But then I draw Caracas. That at least gives me something. Okay. I mean, this is obviously, like, below 1% no matter how you look at it. Return to nature? Okay. Okay, this could be good. Now they attack with the Uro. Not realizing that Kaldra itself is indestructible. This could actually work out. Because now they're about to make a mistake. So we get to eat the Uro. They're going to return to nature before we block. I hope they return to nature. It would be nice if they used their mana. If not, then I guess it's like, you know, whatever. Okay, they realized it was indestructible. Uro's gone forever. And now we have 12 on the crackback. If we draw Caracas, we have a chance. If they pay 7 and draw 2, they're like one short of being dead. I think this gave us our best chance. Next turn, if they don't draw, I have to attack and chump. It's just, we gotta find Caracas. Like, it's like the only card that does anything, unfortunately. A little punished for the Stoneforge not having the baddest goal, but that's not gonna matter too much. So we know they have a Return to Nature in hand. Ragavan could also potentially be like the kind of card that does something. Because maybe we take one of their cards that has impact. Okay, they are drawing 7. That makes sense. We are one short of lethal, unfortunately. 6, 12, yeah. And we don't have bolts in our deck. Wow. Okay, they're just going for the kill then. Maybe they were just that close to having the kill. They only need Show and Tell plus Omniscience and something else. So it can't be that hard. I think it's probably... I mean, it's probably possible that they don't win, but it seems very unlikely. That's okay. I think we did the best we could here. I don't know... We might have just made a mistake on turn 1. Or not on turn 1, but like earlier on. Because we could, if we flipped the Delvers early, like, I guess that would have been good. I don't know if it's beating this double carpet situation, but it would potentially race Uro a little bit better. I can't beat this fight because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Okay. We are dead. Interesting game. We needed the brainstorm to be a little bit better, but we draw a prismatic ending. Yeah, a little slow at that point. Interesting match. regardless, the deck definitely feels good, and like it feels like that could have gone a little bit differently and been fine. Their Earl plan ended up being really effective. I don't know if I was supposed to bring in Sword Splashes for that, but like the triple prismatic ending plus Kurakis with 3 Pyroblast seemed like it was good enough, but maybe it wasn't. But either way, thanks everyone for joining. This was fun. I was happy to play some of this deck that I've been enjoying. And I'm going to send everyone over to, I'm going to raid a channel. Let's see who's live here. Twitch. Let's see. Blue Dojo. Okay, let's go over there. Let's go to Marco Male. Is that it? Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I'll send you all over there. Thanks everyone for checking it out. I'll try to stream. I'll try to stream another time. Maybe next week. Maybe I can get something in later in the week. But regardless, thanks everyone for checking it out. This is fun, and I'll see you all around.